I believe in having a team. It pulls me away out of working in the business, and I'm able to work on the business more. So
That's great.
that's what I want, because look, I mean, my faith and family, even my fitness, if we want to talk, like ruck, those come way before the business. I'm not sacrificing any of those for the business. Now my whole goal is I want to see all my advisors be super successful, and hopefully that they are able to do that those same pillars and able to give to different charities and stuff that they believe in, and tithe in their church and things of that nature.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Big Headers Podcast. I'm joined by a good friend of mine, Gary Cucchi, who's a financial advisor in Florida. And Gary is a stud, and he's a stud in multiple ways. We know each other through Rise Up Kings, and I'm excited to pick his brain, particularly, in a couple ways on industry experience, but some other things that he's seen just over his years of experience as a financial advisor. Gary, tell us how you started your business. Tell us the story about how we got to where we are today.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, first, thanks for having me on. This is fun stuff. I love chatting. So I started just over 23 years ago. I was actually a teacher. So I had taught 12th grade honors economics, boys golf. I was the athletic business manager, and the assistant baseball coach. So I was doing a ton of different things and making no money in doing any of them. But, I knew, teaching economics and stuff, I knew I was wanting to own a business. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. And I mean, not many people grow up saying, man, I want to be a financial advisor or something when they're an adult. Typically people like want to do something way more exciting. So, but I just knew I wanted to be in business, and I was looking to look at a business that possibly had some recurring revenue. And I liked helping people. And I also saw that in Florida, especially, I felt that in educators and firefighters and police officers who all had pensions were kind of clueless about their pensions, about their benefits. So I saw an opportunity there to kind of start out creating a niche market of helping educators and other first responders on their benefits that they get through the state of Florida, which in Florida is the Florida retirement system. And then why they need to also invest in addition to that to make sure they were going to be set to be able to retire one day. And I had no clients. I started completely from scratch, and I grew it over this last 20 something years. I mean, honestly, probably the best thing is I have an amazing team. I always say they're the brains of the operation, not me. I'm just the visionary. I'm the one that really kind of just knows what I want, and I'm going to go get it. And they're the ones behind the scenes, building portfolios, meeting with a lot of clients, ongoing, building the relationships. And I'm really just running the business side of it now. And it's great. I mean, we have over 30 full-time team members, and most of them have been with me for 15 plus years. So we're really blessed there to have this amazing team, and it really allows me to do what I love, which is I kind of get to coach. I get to coach a team, but I also get to still do the things I love, which is coach youth sports, spend lots of time with my family, and continue to grow with my relationship with my wife, and most importantly, my relationship with the Lord. So
you left out playing pickleball.
Oh yeah, I do. Oh yeah. That's yeah. Pickleball. My hobbies would definitely be pickleball. I love the golf as well too, but I'll take pickleball over golf any day. And it's pickleball is one of those funny things. It's kind of like a year and a half ago. I'm like, what a stupid sport. But just a bunch of old people. This is an old person's sport. And first day out there, I go and get my butt whooped by like a 70-year-old lady. And I'm like, oh, okay, here I am, an athlete, or used to be an athlete, and get my butt whooped. And I'm like, man, this is a lot of fun. So now I'm addicted. I play 3 mornings a week, from like 6 a.m. till like 8 or 8:30 in the morning. So it's great.
So, okay. been in financial services for a while,
Yeah.
and I've talked to lots and lots of financial advisors, and it's definitely a decision you have to make to grow a team because there are a lot of guys out there that I mean, having worked at an FMO where I called on
Mhm.
hundreds of advisors, I talked to this, it was the same guy over and over again. He started at Mass Mutual or one of these companies. He built up the agency and he hated dealing with all these divas. And so now it's just him and his assistant. So, you know, there's obviously a conscious decision that you have to make to really grow your team.
Yeah.
What has that been like? And what are some of the challenges that you've, you know, had to overcome in doing that?
Yeah, great question. Well, honestly, for me, because I talk to advisors all the time, and most of them, it's they're a one person operation really, and maybe they have
Yeah.
some back office support. But for me, again, playing team sports my whole life, and even just my practicality from coaching, I think we're more powerful as a team. So I know my strengths and my weaknesses, and my thought of what's going to build a team is I need to hire people that are really strong in the things that I'm not strong at, and put my ego aside, and to know that I never refer to as they work for me. I always say they work with me. And that's so, even though I own my name's on the building and I own the business, I don't look at necessarily as them as the boss. It's more like
Hmm.
I'm the captain of the team, right?
Hmm.
We all have just as important roles in the growth, and we all celebrate in the successes and the sorrows together. So I've always, I've made some bad hires. I mean, let's be real clear. No
Hmm.
entrepreneur growing a business and hiring people is 100% on the people they hire. I've made some bad hires, but I'm not afraid to make a bad hire. A lot of people are afraid. They look at it as they're afraid to hire people because they're afraid to lose money. I'm not afraid to lose money because I know I have to be willing to lose money to make money. And that's always been kind of my thought. I am a risk taker because I will bet on myself. Right? I will bet that I'm going to be right more than I'm wrong. And when I'm right, it's going to be right in a big way. And that's why I get so many people that I've had for 15 plus years. And the funny thing is, the people that have been with me for 15 plus years, none of them had prior financial experience before working for me.
Mm.
So actually, some of my worst hires were hiring people that had a lot of years of financial experience. Now we have a great team that when we bring somebody on that is new, they're taking them under the wing and training them. We have our own training program and stuff built up, but I find the loyalty is there. But we're teaching them how to do things, well, we believe the right way from the very beginning. There's no bad sales habits. There's no, um, where they work for a company that taught them it's all about numbers and hitting quotas. Ours is about building relationships. Everything's been about building relationships. So I hire people based on their character, not their qualifications. Great example. I'm playing pickleball a couple weeks ago with I call him a kid. He's still in his 20s, but he was a former first round draft pick and in a professional sport. And he's now done. And we're just talking. And I'm like, man, this kid he's awesome. He's something special. Athletes have, you know, a work ethic, especially if you're going to be a first round draft pick. It's just not all talent. They don't wake up out of bed and they're suddenly
You have to be
some
coachable too,
superstar.
for sure.
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, Kobe Bryant's a great story. Curry, who you have behind you, great stories. The, the, the hundreds of thousands of hours that they put in to perfecting their craft.
Hmm.
Well, we hit it off, and I just knew. I asked him to go to Starbucks afterwards, and we hit it off. And this isn't even someone looking to get into the industry, right? But I start just talking to them about it because I see that this is the type of person that could do really good in our industry if they were taught by the right person. So that's how I find a lot of people is I find someone that has the right character, and a lot of times I'm not even looking to hire somebody, but I will find and build a position for that person. I think of our 30 plus people, maybe one person of those 30 have come off of like Indeed or any job
Mm.
site. Everybody
Yeah.
else has been someone I personally found or was a friend or someone of somebody that works for us that I met with and like, wow, this person be an amazing hire. I'm actually have someone starting next week that is the daughter of a guy who worked for me for 10 plus years. And only reason he left was to go into full-time ministry. Well, now his daughter, isn't that crazy? Now his daughter is an adult, and he's like, man, you have to contact Gary. I think you would do amazing in his industry. And we met and hit it off, and she's going to be coming on board. So yeah, that's what I think is different is I believe in having a team. It pulls me away out of working in the business, and I'm able to work on the business more. So
That's great.
that's what I want, because look, I mean, my faith and family, even my fitness, if we want to talk, like rock, those come way before the business. I'm not sacrificing any of those for the business. Now my whole goal is I want to see all my advisors be super successful, and hopefully that they are able to do that those same pillars and able to give to different charities and stuff that they believe in and tithe in their church and things of that nature.
Gary, one of the questions I always ask is like, give the audience some idea of your overall production. It could be assets under management. It could be deal flow, anything you feel comfortable sharing so they can kind of understand the size of your company.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you kind of, we started over 3.5 years ago. We decided for many years, we were working for a captive firm, and it took, almost 20 years building up to, we were the largest in the nation for that firm. But I felt like we needed to make a change for our clients. We needed to be able to truly, if we were going to be fiduciaries and truly do what's in the client's best interest at all times, we needed to be fully independent. So 100% of my team agreed, and we decided to leave together. I didn't lose one team member during the transition. So we started over. I left $4 million a year in revenue on the table, walked away from everything. And people would think you're nuts, because honestly, look back, it's pretty crazy, because I was in cruise control, but I was also bored. I kind of hated what I was doing. I didn't really want to work with clients, because I just man, you constantly almost felt like they're trying to get you to push product instead of really trying to help people. And so we left. And so just to give you an idea, it's been just a little over 3 years, and we went from just the core advisors. We went from zero to a little over 200 million in new assets in that time period, and that was in addition to being sued right off the gate, which of course all that got settled, and I had to spend a lot of money to defend ourselves. But of course, prior firm was worried that we were going to go after clients, which we didn't. But that all got settled pretty quickly.
They sued you even though you didn't actually try to bring your clients with you?
Yeah, lots of times, unfortunately, for companies, it's a knee-jerk reaction, a fear of you were going to do something. So no harm, no foul, no hard feelings against them. It all got settled. And it got settled pretty quickly, but I had to defend ourselves, and I was ready to defend the business and defend all my team. And so, like I said, never got that far. But besides just an initial suit, but we project to do anywhere from 60 to 80 million at a minimum in new assets each year. We expect to be by the end of 2027. To over 500 million in assets, starting at zero, which will have been about 7 years prior. So we should be at plus 500 plus million in new assets in that amount of time.
For those of you that are not familiar with the industry, that's an incredible clip. That's really, really good. Most financial advisors that are one-man bands, like 25 to 30 million of new assets in a good year is good, right? So you guys are on a screaming pace.
Yeah, and we're doing that. There's of those 30 people, that those numbers are being done by just a handful of those people. We have over half of our team is just in the insurance world. So they're doing residential, commercial insurance, and they're doing life insurance as well too. Then the rest of there's the 6 to 10 advisors, and then everybody else is support staff. We have a big support staff to help the advisors and also be there for our clients. We believe in our clients never having to call an 800 number for help. They're always talking to someone local who knows who they are. So even if the advisor is on vacation, they have a whole team behind them. So our team is helping our advisors put together financial plans, prepping for meetings for them, prepping for review meetings for them. So the advisors can spend more time actually being with their clients and build a relationship with their client instead of sitting behind a computer plugging in data.
Amen. I love that. What are some sticking points you feel like you have in your business right now? Like if you look out at the scope of all the things that are happening, what are some things that are like, you're trying to solve for or challenges you're facing?
Yeah. Challenges we're honestly facing right now is growth. We are in a situation right now that it's kind of we have more business than we can handle. It's pretty amazing, and we are handling it, but it's faster than we would have ever expected. The amount of business we're getting from word of mouth is unreal. I mean, it's all referral based, and it's just clients referring. I mean, their friends, their family, and everything, because they're happy with the service that they're getting compared to what they were getting at their prior firm. And we feel like we give a very good kind of white glove service to our clients, even clients that don't have $10 million in assets. I mean, this could be a client with a $500,000 or $1 million portfolio, and they're not getting any service from a prior firm. They might be working with someone just on an 800 number, or someone that's going to just reach out to them once a year. And they're getting this VIP treatment from us. So now they're referring a lot of their friends. So it's funny because when I started this business, people told me you're never going to be successful working with a bunch of educators and first responders who don't make a lot of money. You need to go after the real high net worth people. And although we do have a lot of high net worth clients, that's not how the business was built. Our foundation of probably 80% of our business is built on hardworking, everyday Americans, and that otherwise, if it wasn't for firms like us, wouldn't get any service from anybody. And the beautiful thing is our retention rates like 99%. We don't lose clients. So now, where if we only were going after the high net worth client, and they all for something went wrong, and you suddenly lose them, you could lose a massive piece of revenue. And could take a big hit on your business. Since we have, like I said, over 80% of our business are everyday working Americans that we're helping with, whether it's 401ks or 403bs or maxing out IRAs and doing some rollovers or some brokerage type accounts. We built a very nice foundation. So the sticking point right now is continuing to find, under my process of finding good advisors to continue to bring on. And not just going out there and I can go find someone that has 15 or 20 years experience, but I'm going to be real tough on bringing them on board. Are they going to fit into our motto? Are they going to be able to put their ego aside and be able to work as a team, as part of a team? If that's the case, then they would fit good under our model.
All right. You recently, speaking of handling all the business, I'm going to take a quick moment to get a plug for our services, assuming that you've had a good experience, but I know my team would appreciate. Okay. So, well, it's funny because I actually gave you Rochelle, who was the very first virtual assistant that I ever hired. And when I had my 65 and my life insurance, all that stuff, I was like, there's no way this will work for me. And sweet, precious Rochelle was the very first one I hired. So you made a decision recently to use our firm to hire a virtual assistant, and actually, sent you Rochelle, who worked with me. What has that experience been like?
Rochelle's been amazing. Actually, your whole team's been amazing. So very thorough in the whole process, even from from doing the initial interviews to almost like the speed dating intros for me and the pre-videos. I mean, it was amazing because we've used other firms in the past, and this has been the best experience.
That's
So
great.
yeah, and Rochelle's just, I mean, honestly, she feels like she's part of our family.
Yeah.
It's great. Joe, who's one of my internal advisors, I've known Joe since college, so we've known each other like almost 30 years, and he's worked with me for close to 20. Him and Rochelle talk. They're almost every day. They're working like she is part of his team, and then Rochelle's also helping oversee my email and some other things. But just because I throw so much stuff on the Joe that it's so nice that Joe can hand a couple things off to Rochelle to be able to do, and it relieves some pressure from him. But yet she's still like right now she's checking my email while we're doing this, and she's done an amazing job on that. Everything we've given her, she's done an amazing job so far. She's just great.
This is great. Let's talk about AI for a second. How do
Yeah,
you see it shaping your industry?
yeah. We like it. Well, first off, obviously, we like it from the obviously what it's going to do to some people's returns for a lot of companies that we use that we invest in. But from a business standpoint, it's great. We use a lot for client meetings to help summarize notes that we've taken and make sure that we didn't, take away points. Obviously, we can have it help give us a summary of a Zoom meeting to give us a recap. It's also being used behind the scenes in portfolio design. AI currently gives data that we're looking for and scours the internet for certain data that then we can then look at and then make some human decisions on what we want to do. So example could be if we're wanting to, we want alerts on if someone who's running a mutual fund is maybe stepping away, right? Well, the sooner we can find that information out, we might decide to move assets out of that fund, that mutual fund or that ETF or something. So there's a lot there that we can use AI for. And again, it's continuing to help with the ease of building client portfolios when we build out financial plans. AI is speeding that process up greatly for us, which is great in return for the clients long term. It's going to continue to mean fees for clients. We should see continue to come down. Clients pay a lot less in fees now than they did, say, 10 plus years ago for managing assets, as they should, because it's a little easier to do business now than it was 10 years ago.
Where's a place that you feel like AI could be helpful, but you're not really leveraging it there quite yet? Like, I think there's an AI for that. I'm just not sure.
Good question. It's definitely due to some compliance pieces in our industry, but AI for email to maybe even auto reply to some different types of emails, some non-client question type emails. I know there's some stuff out there that will do that. We can't use it in our industry yet. Even I can understand if a client has a question on a portfolio, right? We need to be answering that, and of course we always will. But there's a lot of other emails that we get that now obviously Rochelle is helping with a lot of those, but that we don't really need to be responding to. AI could help. I mean, whether it's a wholesaler trying to get on our calendar to reply back and saying, yeah, here's here's a link to Gary's calendar to get on there and speak with the team. I mean, there's a lot I think that it could do. That's just a real simple example, but there's a ton that I think AI could continue to be used in our industry that it just make it more efficient. It's not necessarily taking away jobs. I mean,
Mm.
I'm not looking for AI to remove a bunch of jobs. If anything, just shifting people to where we're all more efficient and we're actually producing more as a nation, which in return should mean companies are doing better, which means the stock market in turn should do better, and that is a win for everybody.
Well, yeah, and I agree with you 100%. So my AI venture is called Freedom AI. So AI, I don't believe should no one needs to get fired or replaced. It's just it's a way that I can turn one Joe into three or one Rochelle
Yes,
into three, right? And
yes,
leverage their capacity. Okay, let's talk about Ruck for a sec. That's how we met.
yeah, yeah,
I feel like my podcast should be one big dang Ruck commercial, but how has it affected your life, business, family, any of the things?
yeah. Ruck's been real special for our family. I'll give you a little bit of the backstory on it. So, like a lot of guys, I found Rise Up Kings on social media, and I didn't really know much about it besides, oh man, that looks kind of fun. The guys are like crawling through the mud and stuff, almost like what as a kid I dreamed of being, like a Navy SEAL or something like that. And knew I probably wasn't really cut out for it, but it seemed really cool, right? So I'm like, man, this looks cool. It's something maybe I could use a little spark, kind of midlife crisis type of thing, right? I'm not going out there like cheating on my wife or buying fancy cars, but you just kind of felt like I was in a lull. Felt like I was just in like checking off a box for a lot of things in life,
Mm,
especially like my
yep.
faith. Like here I am. I'm reading the Bible. I'm going through and reading the Bible every year. But I'm not getting anything out of it. I'm just doing it. It became just another daily thing. I'm just checking it off.
Mm,
And I felt like that for a little bit. And also had lost a couple close friends on some tragic accidents. And so I've always been one that thrives on like a community of guys.
mm,
And I still had some of that, but nothing that was close by in Tampa. It was more just the, hey man, how you doing? You see the guy at church, oh good, how you doing? And you give the fake, oh, everything's great. Oh good man, great seeing you, and you move on. And so these just
yeah.
super shallow relationships. I just don't have time for that. So anyway, go to Rock, amazing experience. I come back, and of course, my wife is like, okay, it's like church camp, right? He's going to come back on fire, and 2 weeks later, he'll go back to being lazy in our relationship. Like that's, sometimes our spouses get the worst of it, right? And I've been married 26 years. I've known my wife for since I just turned 50, and I was her first date. I was 16. She was 15. So we've known
Dang.
each other a long time. But
Nice.
I get lazy. I could get lazy where it's, just you take things
Mm,
for granted. And it really opened my eyes to that I needed to love my wife differently.
mm,
And by doing that, I needed to really get back on fire in my faith and then do what Jesus is telling us to do as far as loving our wives. And that's exactly what I started to do. And a month went to 3 months to 6 months, and she saw this consistent guy showing up every day. And she decided to go ahead and go through the women's event, Rise of Queens. And she went through, and it was just groundbreaking for her. Just things from her childhood that she didn't even know that were just in there. Were in there, and it was exposed, and it was amazing for our relationship. We both decided to go deeper and go into the next level of type of classes, and we also end up doing the marriage retreat as well too, which was one of the best things ever could have done. We're like, man, why can we have found this 25 years earlier in our marriage, and been amazing. So, in addition to that, we started to get some more, like I'd say, friends from around the country, but like different type of friends that you knew were going to call you out on stuff, but also some people that probably knew some stuff that a lot of people that you've known a bunch of years you've maybe never shared with before, because you just kind of keep that stuff real close to your chest. But man, they shared a lot of their secrets, and you shared a lot of your secrets, and it felt good to get some of that stuff off your chest, because we all have baggage, right? We all have baggage from our childhood, whether we realize it or not. There is stuff in there that's affecting us. But we were pretty cool a couple of years later, because I went through in November of 22. So it's going on 3 years here next month. But last year, June of 24, our oldest son went through as well. He went through the Crucible, and it was amazing for him. Now he plays college baseball. He teaches on Wednesday nights at church. He's involved. Man, he's more on fire for the Lord than I've ever seen him. So it's like, as a dad, man, I couldn't be more proud of.
That's awesome.
And it has nothing to do, like I tell him, man, I'm so proud of the man you've become. It has nothing to do with him being a great baseball player. This is the stuff that's super exciting, that he's on fire for the Lord. He like loves Ruck. He's like all in and wanting to become a better man. He's got a Ruck brother that's mentoring him, an older, a guy like my age mentoring him. And that's what it's all about. It's, iron sharpens iron. Well, this past summer 25, Ruck did their first teenage daughter or girls event. And my wife got to be a part of that, being kind of like a quasi, helper coach with Jessica Lewis in doing that. And my twin daughters went through that inaugural class, and it was a game changer for them. Absolute game changer. So now me, my wife, my oldest son, and my twin daughters have all went through the Ruck experience. We talk to each other differently now, because we know a lot of the same terminology as far as, advice and asking if they're open for feedback. And the relationship has changed so much. It's much more of a mature relationship. And our two youngest children, Hannah, who's 13, and Luke, who's 9, have also seen all of this. And of course, they can't wait to be able to go through these programs. They've seen what it's done for our marriage. They've seen that we are closer now at 26 years of marriage than we ever were. It's unbelievable. And I'm telling you, Ruck has just had such a huge part in that. And not just the events, but the fellowship and accountability that's come after the events.
That's great. Gary, thank you for coming on the show. If people want to learn more about who you are and what you do, where can they go?
Yeah, absolutely. They can check us out online. We have a couple different websites. The main website that brings you to really everything is FloridaEducatorInsurance.com. They can also, if they have any questions, they can also shoot me an email too. I'm always glad to talk with people. They can shoot me an email at gary.cucci@feipartners.com.
And if you really, really want to talk to Gary, show up at the pickleball courts at 6 a.m.
That's right.
And get
you got to be
kicked.
dedicated to play at 6 a.m.
All right, man. Don't go anywhere. I want to keep chopping it up, but thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, of course.